Hindus have a habit of living in their own shell. Sometimes this is spiritual, while other times it is financial or cultural. They need a clarion call, otherwise they fail to assert themselves. Recently, the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat issued a strong statement to get Hindus out of their newly gained cultural shell. That is, the shell of working extremely hard but having no familial ambitions. Hello and welcome to TFI Post. I'm your host Paurish Gupta. Let's begin. You would have often heard people cursing the population for every minor discomfort in India. But RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat has a different take on it. He seems to be more concerned about the makeup of this population tilt in a direction which is not at all favorable for the future of Hindus. Pointing out the well-established scientific fact around declining population, Mohan Bhagwat said, and I quote, "Population sciences point out that any social group which has a birth rate below 2.1 soon vanishes from the face of the earth. It does not happen because it is annihilated by others. It simply ends even without facing any catastrophe," unquote. The second part of his statement, in which the RSS chief warned about the self-destruction algorithm which is set in Hindu society, explain how bad it is. While in the last million of years of human evolution, people, families, villages, states, nations and cultures have survived to stay alive and prosper at the same time, but loots and killings have been the norm. Incidentally, Hindus have been arguably the most physically scathed but financially unscathed ones. While we suffered innumerable attacks, it is also true that our material wealth never really died down. Even now, the main problem is our wealth lies with the mandirs, which are controlled by the governments. So ultimately, the decline in Hindu power has been the consequences of invasions looking to extinguish Hindus from the face of the earth. But somehow we survived and are up and running with significant economic upturns in India's favor. At the same time, the means to achieve this level of urbanization has got us in a culturally bad position. The economic growth came on the back of cultural compromise. That is better to have fewer children with that iconic slogan called "Hum do, hamare do." Hindus, as would any sensible community, obliged to this demand. The thinking was that a little compromise on everyone's part would result in a better future for our upcoming generations. The better future in the average mind was quality education at an affordable price, quality and eco-friendly homes, and good connectivity for medical emergencies and other facilities helpful in increasing human happiness. But two kinds of problems occurred. Firstly, Hindus compromised, but everyone else did not. In fact, no one compromised as much as Hindus, and that is now showing up in numbers and census figures. According to the 1951 census figures, Hindus' population was 30.3 crore. The number jumped to 96.6 crore in 2011. Contrastingly, the Muslim population increased from 3.5 crore in 1951 to 17.2 crore in 2011. Its Abrahamic brother Christianity grew from 80 lakh in 1951 to 2.78 crore in 2011. On the face of data, Hindus seem to be comfortably placed way ahead of others in sheer numbers. But as they say, the devil lies in the details. Turns out the catch lies in the relative share of different religions in the Indian population. Despite witnessing more than a 66 crore increase in its population, the Hindu share has declined from 84.5% in 1951 to 79.8% in 2011. In the same time period, the share of the Sikh community declined from 1.9% to 1.7%, while the Jain community's share decreased from 0.5% to 0.4%. On the other hand, the Muslim share in the Indian population increased from 9.9% in 1951 to 14.2% in 2011. The Christian population also increased from 2.2% to 2.3%, but this data is a gross underestimation. According to Pew Research Center, which puts this figure at 2.6%. Mind you, Christians in India are primarily those who converted from scheduled caste to Christianity. But since they cannot receive reservation benefits under the new religious fold, they tend not to mention Christianity as their religion. In comparative terms, Hindu share in the population declined by 5.57%, while Muslim share increased by 43.43%. The only Indic religion that has witnessed positive growth in 6 decades is Buddhism. But that is also a loss for Hinduism because Dalits have been pushed into Buddhism fold by non-government organizations through coercion and forced conversions. These massive changes have accumulated over decades. Turns out Hindus' decadal growth rate has been significantly lower as compared to Islam. Hindus' decadal growth rate remained in the 20s while Muslims' decadal rate of growth, but no such consolation prize exists. The quality of education has been good overall, but its cost is becoming a big hindrance. Similarly, real estate prices and medical expenses are not helping at all. These are crucial issues stopping people from having babies. Another structural problem is false idealism on which women's empowerment took place. Hindu women were brought into the economy by making them believe that they would be free from the shackles of family planning and can focus on their career. No one told them to balance it out, as a consequence of which more and more women are bailing out of family responsibilities. Mohan Bhagwat's statement rings a bell for everyone. People may start to work on it, but will the government chip in with regulating adulteration in food, school education and real estate prices? If not, Hindus are set to lose as the Overton window shifts from hum do hamare do to jiski abadi uski utti hissedari.